I am a transgender woman. One day, I will become president.
Trumpy was like, under my leadership, there's gonna be just the two genders, male, female.
In case you're wondering what it's like being transgender under this new administration, I just got my new passport in the mail and they changed the gender to male.
Have you let yourself cry yet? This is sad, and this is dark, and this is hard.
It creates a policy that only recognizes two genders.
The fact that Donald Trump has to come out at his pre-inauguration and explain to everyone that there is now two genders just goes to show how fucked the world has become.
Trump says there are only two genders, and the internet is on fire. From outrage to support, we're breaking down the most viral rants. Let's dive in.
In case you're wondering what it's like being transgender under this new administration, I just got my new passport in the mail and they changed the gender to male because of Donald Trump. In case y'all want proof, there's my picture, very cunty. And yeah, there's that big ugly M. Yay!
So I live in Florida, and for about a year now, it's been the law that the gender marker on your ID needs to match your sex assigned at birth. Otherwise, you could be charged with fraud. Now, I didn't really start transitioning until after this law was put into place. So my only real options as far as changing my gender marker and name to align with myself were to go the passport route or move somewhere where it's not illegal. But given the new administration's executive orders regarding passports, I'm a little bit cooked either way. And I know a lot of trans people right now feel this sense of dread that you're permanently going to be tied to this false identity of you that represents nothing about you because of some bullshit law. But I'm just here to remind all of the trans people that whatever it says on a document, license, birth certificate, whatever, really doesn't matter. And I say that lightly because obviously it does matter. When you're at an airport or you get pulled over or anything where they need to see your identification, that puts us in extremely uncomfortable positions where we have to show somebody our past selves. And that can be uncomfortable as fuck. But that piece of paper doesn't define who you are as a person. At the end of the day, what's more important is the impact that you leave on the world and the people who are surrounding you in your life. And at the end of the day, if you have beautiful, incredible people who actually care about you in your life, you will always be seen for who you are. So fuck a passport, fuck an ID, fuck a birth certificate. Nothing is ever going to stop you from being who you are.
The fact that Donald Trump has to come out at his pre-inauguration and explain to everyone that there is now two genders just goes to show how fucked the world has become. He needs to make it clear to everyone that there's two genders.
I am a transgender woman. One day, I will become president. And when that day comes, I will use my political power to ensure that no one is left behind and that everyone will have the path to succeed. I am a transgender woman. And one day, I will become a billionaire. And when that day comes, I will use my economic power to pay taxes, to protect people from misinformation, and to help marginalized communities live a better, hopeful life. I am a transgender woman. One day, I will become a respected leader. And when that day comes, I will use my social power to create an encouraging environment where all dreamers are formed and never broken. But while I am yet to become one, I will use every hateful comment thrown against us as a driving force to treat people with kindness and respect. Every societal rejection as a leverage to dream bigger and soar higher. in every attack to our identity as an inspiration to love myself even more. Because I am a transgender woman, and I will choose to remain hopeful. For I am powerful, I am extraordinary, and I exist. I am a transgender woman. I can become president. I can become a billionaire. I can become a respected leader. Watch me.
Trumpy was like, under my leadership, there's gonna be just the two genders, male, female. And I was watching that like, yeah. The biggest roar in the whole building, that line, you know? It was like, yeah, come on, no more genders. Not enough, we got two. I didn't even know they were bringing another one in. They find them in space or they make them in a laboratory? Where the other genders come from? I'm out of the loop, I don't leave my house much.
It is hard to become doctoral. Actually, excuse me, let me correct myself. I'm a doctoral candidate. It is extremely hard to become a doctoral candidate. I'm a fourth year. I pay my taxes. I am a citizen of the United States, whether I want to be or not. And I'm sure somebody in the comments will say, well, why don't you just leave? That's not the point. The point is that we are so fixated on hatred and violence. There is no way to even have discussions or conversations. One part of my identity does not consume my entire identity. The same thing for other people that are being discriminated against. And that's the issue. We can talk, we can make posts, but until we collectively, together as a community, get together and assemble, and I know that our community and multiple communities that are facing discrimination, BIPOC community, LGBTQIA+, intersex people specifically, indigenous people, like the list goes on and on and on and on. But I will say one thing I will do. As an educator, I'm going to use my privilege, my white, woke privilege, okay? And I'm going to do better and make sure that I continue to advocate for every single one of these people to the best of my ability with my 3-time part-time jobs while working and being an educator. I'm going to continue to open doors and open conversations and be there for folks. I'm going to continue to do the artwork that no one wants to see or doesn't care. And I'm going to continue to make sure my students are heard, they feel safe, they feel like they can be in a space where they can have pronouns for whatever they want. Okay? And I know that a lot of people in the South are scared. Even myself, I'm in Illinois. I'm extremely privileged to be in Illinois. I felt when I escaped in 2016 that I got a breath of fresh air, and thank goodness we have JB as the governor. I'm just saying, for all those out there that are in southern states, that are in states that are feeling this very real, intense agenda, hatred, fascism, that we are here. We are here as a community. Not all of us are going to run. And my door is always open for those folks and folks like me. And as an educator, I will continue to educate regardless. So with all that being said, stand with each other. Know that you're loved. Know that you're not alone, even though it feels extremely painful.
Have you let yourself cry yet? This is sad. And this is dark. And this is hard. Have you given yourself the space to let some of the emotion out? Have you given yourself the space to feel? Have you made yourself safe enough to process a little bit of this emotion? Because we're not going to feel safe all the time. And there's going to be a lot of emotion, and we can't process it unless we feel safe. So can you carve out a little bit of your day to do something to take care of yourself? To create just a little bit of space, to let yourself have a good cry. Let yourself let some emotion out. This is worth a good cry. And you are worth feeling all of these emotions. And you are valid. And you are loved. And you are wanted. Just the way you are.
transgender woman in the custody of the Federal Bureau of Prisons and who has been housed throughout her incarceration in a woman's prison, was slated to be transferred on Monday to a all men's prison. And through January 23rd, she had always been listed as a female on all prison records. As of January 25th, thanks to Donald Trump's heinous executive orders, she was now has her sex changed to male. And today, federal judge disagreed and told Trump and his tiny little hands that sign with that big giant pen, once again, no. So now we've got Donald Trump this week told half a dozen times no on his executive orders. The female prisoner in question will remain in a all women's prison, will not be transferred to a men's prison, and will not have to undergo the hate and discrimination that she would have faced otherwise in an all male prison. Donald Trump and his administration have been targeting LGBTQ individuals, and this was one of their key pieces. And a federal judge said absolutely not and put a total pause on everything in it today.
He signed an order that basically it creates a policy that only recognizes two genders. So non-binary people will not be recognized legally anymore. The US is withdrawing from the Paris Climate Agreement, which I don't even think I need to say more on that one. He signed an order that makes it a lot easier for someone to face the death penalty. What the fuck? People who go into the US illegally can now face the death penalty. I don't even know what to say anymore. And you can now refuse services to someone based on their gender and sexual orientation. I'm not even from America. I live in Canada and I'm scared. And I don't know what to do. I feel so powerless right now. And I don't even live there. This is the man that you voted for. This is the man that you voted for.
In case you're wondering what it's like being transgender under this new administration, I just got my new passport in the mail and they changed the gender to male because of Donald Trump. In case y'all want proof, there's my picture, very cunty. And yeah, there's that big ugly M. Yay!
So look, I do kind of feel bad for this person because we promise people things and then we just say, actually, no, we're going to take that away. But it is ultimately the right decision. I think government documentation should reflect reality and not just personal preference. Although I do acknowledge that going out into the world looking like this person does may raise a few eyebrows when, you know, this person gives people a passport ID. And it's very clearly quite confusing, right? You know, if you go to buy alcohol or whatever, and then someone sees, is this fake? Time will tell to see if we see issues arrive from these changes.
There is a big part of my head that is just going, no, you're feeding into the conspiracies, this can't be real. But I'm in England and I'm seeing a lot that is obviously not being shown in the US. And I can't help starting to put things together, and it is scary. One, Guantanamo Bay. He has said that they are creating 30,000 spaces. That word is important, spaces. I'll bear in mind the maximum, I think, amount of people that have been kept in Guantanamo Bay at one time, I think, was 870 people. And yet he is creating 30,000 spaces. Not for 30,000 people, spaces. At the same time, I'm seeing that trans people are being denied passports. Now, these aren't immigrants, these are American citizens who are desperately trying to get their passports, who have all their paperwork, who have paid all their taxes. They've never been charged with anything. There is no reason at all why they should be denied a passport. And yet they go into the passport office, they have everything they need, they pay for it, and they're being told, no, we can't do that at this time. And they've said, I don't care at this point which sex you put on there, whether I'm male or female, I need to leave. You keep telling me to go away, and I'm trying to go away. And they won't issue them passports. And it's looking very pink triangle. If you don't know what pink triangle is, I suggest you Google Nazis pink triangle. Because I am so scared that this is his plan, that he is going to put trans people into these concentration camps. There's no other word for it. And they are just going to disappear. Those 30,000 spaces are going to keep being refilled. If you can get out, I think now is the time to get out. Oh, I really hope that I'm wrong.
What's your take? Sound off in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more real talk. Until next time, stay savvy.